Homebrew, coming at you with a beer review. It's kind of a warm, windy day. We've got the Oregon International Air Show getting ready to start up here, so I'm gonna slide in a beer review. It is Friday. I've got a mighty thirst, and I found a fun beer. Today, we've got Almanac IPA. You know, we see a few Almanac beers slide into Oregon here and there. I've never seen the IPA before. Now, Almanac Beer Company is out of San Francisco, California. This is an American IPA at 7.5%, so just on that border, be called a double. It's gonna make its way into my belly. Here we go. Here it is. It's a beautiful beer. The head faded rather quickly, actually. It's got a beautiful golden to honey kind of a color. Just the slightest copper hue going through, but more of that orange, golden, honey type of color on there. It's a pretty looking beer. Like I say, clear, a few bubbles rising up. This is made with California grown two-row, German Vienna, crystal, and biscuit malts. And to hop it, they use Apollo, Eldorado, Simcoe, and Mosaic. So let's get the nose. Man, I was already smelling it over there. I could tell the Simcoe in there. Well, you know, you get that little bit of that Simcoe scent, that slightest of caddy scent. But I tell you what, there's some really beautiful orange and tangerine notes coming through on this. I get some tropical fruits. I get a hint of grapefruit. Yeah, it's a nice sweet malt with a little bit of a honey scent. You get a little bit of that cracker biscuit kind of nose on it as well. But the nose has got tropical. It's not super distinct. I think I'm pulling some mango out of there. And a little bit of dankness and a little bit of pine. Now, I have no idea in terms of freshness what this is. There's no bottling date. So we're gonna just jump on in. Cheers. That's nice. That's a nicely made West Coast style IPA. Man, those hop flavors are so evident. If you know your hops, you know there's Simcoe in this beer. You totally pick up on that. But you're getting the bitterness off the Apollo. You're getting some of those characteristics coming in from that Eldorado and the Mosaic. It's a fun blend. It's a really fun mix because you're getting these citrus flavors and you're getting these tropical flavors and you're getting this nice sweet backbone, a light caramel, but a lot of that two-row, you know, is just really carrying. I don't know how much crystal I put in it, and you can tell by the color there's not a lot of crystal on it, but the biscuit malts do come through in the flavor. What an interesting mix. And you get a bit of an earthiness from it too. There's bitterness on the back side, but it's not a heavy bitterness at all. You get some of the resin in there, you know, some of the pine needle type, but it's like dried pine needles, that earthy side of it. Now I'm getting more of the mango coming through. Hints of pineapple on there. A little bit of a like not barnyard, but like a grassiness to it, you know? And the citrus fruits, I mean, they're interesting. I get a little bit of grapefruit, I get tangerine, I get orange rind, not a heavy orange rind. Just slight dankness to it. It's there though. And like I said, some of that grassiness to it. A lot of floral characteristics coming through. A little bit of a lemon character coming in on it as well. But the sweetness on this, and the resin comes in on the back, and the sweetness on this is really nice. It's not overbearing, but it's there. It's just a really good base. It kind of dries off from the end, has a fairly clean finish, but some of that sweetness hangs in and a light bit of the bitterness. I'm gonna take a little time with this and I'll come back. Yeah, as it's warmed, it's really picked up some beautiful bready qualities. You get some of the cracker type flavors. You get a little bit of the more like the biscuit type flavors, white bread coming in, but I mean, just a lot of various bready characters that have just kind of coated my mouth. It's not cleaning out and drying off quite the same way as it did earlier as it's warm. And I'm just thoroughly enjoying it, I've got to tell you. The resin on there isn't really strong. There's that little bit of dankness, you know, that dank resin, and Simcoe can pull out some of that too, I know. But the fact is that it's not super dank, but it's dank enough, but it's balanced. I think it's just really balanced. I think this is an underrated beer, if you ask me. So when we talk about American IPAs and rating on just an IPA level, this has a lot of qualities very close to that Imperial IPA, and you know I love my Imperial IPAs. So of course I'm going to be really pleased. So as style, you know, it's a little potent for a regular IPA, but I think it's still within guideline. And you can see I'm pretty happy with this beer. So I've got to give it some pretty good score there. As far as IPAs go, wow, I'm kind of borderline between 91 and 92. I think this is a 92. I think there's just a lot of character and layers going through. I like the changes it's gone through from cold, straight out of the fridge, to warm. And it's just held up to be really tasty all the way through. Overall, first thing I want to say is it has its own unique character. I think Almanac did a great job coming up with their own take on a West Coast IPA, and it fits within the category. And I think they did a really wonderful job. I think my overall rating is not going to change a whole lot. I'm digging on it. I'm putting it right at a 90. I think this is a beautiful beer. I think it's one definitely worth trying. Here it is again. This is Almanac IPA. They're out of San Francisco, California. I'm liking it. I am really digging on this beer. I'm gonna go finish this up with some fish and chips the missus is making. I suggest you give it a try. This is Kevin Clements Homebrew saying life is too short to drink cheap beer, and I will definitely see you all on the next beer review.